Yuri Gagarin, most known for being the first man in space. During this time, many people speculated whether it was right to be sending humans to outer space and other planets when there are still people dying of hunger on our own planet. In this documentary, I will cover Yuri Gagarin's life leading up to the mission of Vostok 1 and the mission itself. As Yuri was growing up with his family, the Nazis were taking over the Soviet Union. Eventually, the Nazis got to the town of Klishino. One officer occupied the Gagarin's household and did so for almost 2 years. During that 2 years, the officer decided to force them to build a 10 by 10 foot hut made out of mud in their backyard. And he forced them to live in it for nearly 2 years. After the occupation of the Nazis into Soviet Union was over, the officer left and everything was back to normal. After the whole ordeal with the Nazis taking over their home, they decided to leave that in the past and they headed off to a town called Zhazk. After moving, Yuri got offered to go to a technical school, and at that school he found his interest in aviation. Yuri made his way up the ranks and eventually was involved with his country's space program. Out of many candidates, Yuri was chosen out of all of them. Yuri joined the Soviet Air Force in 1955 and started training to be a cosmonaut in 1959. Yuri launched on April 12, 1961 into outer space. He orbited the Earth for 1 hour and 48 minutes. One of his most famous quotes was when he said, "I see no God up here."
Well, he made the trip in 1961.
Yep.
So I was born in 1932, and I was 29. Absolutely. At that time, I think many people watched. It was a fantastic feat. No one had ever gone into space before. The Russians sent up a dog, believe it or not, before Gagarin in 1961 made the voyage. So everybody was amazed by what they had accomplished. No, I think it was an extremely big deal. I mean, we knew that eventually space travel would occur. We didn't know when. We didn't know it would occur so quickly. Extremely fascinated to think that something was circling the Earth that was man-made was absolutely miraculous at the time. We really thought that they had accomplished a lot. Well, I'm sorry to see the United States not so involved in having to use the Soviet Union not Soviet Union, Russia, for the space travel program. It's unfortunate. I think we're in the process of trying to find another vehicle to get into space. And I think it's really important that mankind travel in space and find other planets, to find out what this world is all about.
Yuri died on March 27, 1968. He and his instructor were going on a training flight that was nothing out of the ordinary. Something went wrong on the flight and it was found crashed in the town of Novostyolovo. Both Yuri and his instructor were dead. Yuri left behind his wife and 2 daughters, Yelena and Jelena. Yuri's legacy will always live on. Yuri holds one of the most important titles in history, the first man in space.